This is the third in our series of horn lines for guitar. This week we're going to do a little Charlie Parker line. And the thing about this is, if you look at the printed notation, there's actually two licks here. There's what is actually in the recording, and then there's what I thought was in the recording many years later. I always like this the solo in this tune. It's a blues in F, but it's a bebop blues. So instead of just being like a straight like, there's all these chord changes. Like that sort of deal. The F lick that we're going to do at the beginning of this is really just an F major lick. There's not really anything that makes it an F7 sound, but you can use it over blues, and I like using it for jump blues stuff. So it's kind of a fun lick here. So I'm going to give you two licks today, the real one, and then what my memory kind of convoluted it into. And I think they're both pretty useful licks. All right, so here's the Charlie Parker lick. 1, 2. Now, what he's doing here is he's going 1, 2, and 3, and 4 triplet. Right, so it's almost like a full measure of pickup phrase. It's kind of what it feels like. Or he's just starting after the bar. One of the two. You can look at it either way. But you're starting on the F, which is the 6th fret, 2nd string. And then on the 1st string, you're going to go 5, and then 8. And that makes it an F major triad. And then there's a triplet here where he starts on the 6th fret. And I'm going to use my second finger, hammer and pull. So I'm on 6, 8, and 6. Alright, so that's the first bar of this. So you got 1, 2, and 3, and 4 triplet. Now the next measure, it's going to look like this. And it's actually almost like you're going down a D minor chord, but it's all the notes in an F6. So you've got the 5th fret on the 1st string, which is A, or the 3rd of the F chord. You got the 6th fret on the 2nd string, which is F, which is the root of the F chord, and then you've got 7th fret on the 3rd string, which is D, which is the 6th of the F chord, and then we're going to go down to C, which is the 5th fret on the 3rd string. Now keep in mind, a lot of this is based off of this little F major chord, which is the same as your open D chord from down here. All right, so that part up to there, that second measure of this, 5 on the 1st, 6 on the 2nd, 7 on the 3rd, 5 on the 3rd, and then 6 on the 2nd fret. And that's going to be a quarter note. So you got 1 and 2 and 3. And then the last two measures of that bar are going to be, or the notes in that bar are going to be 7 and 5 on the 3rd string. So you got 1 and 2 and 3, 4, and. Right? So the whole thing up to that point, and then the last bit of it is really just tracing out this F chord right here. You got 6th fret on the 2nd string, slide up into the 5th fret, which is the 3rd of the F chord on the 1st string, and then you've got C, which is the 5th fret on the 3rd string. So the whole thing. Okay, so that's what I discovered this morning when I actually went and listened to some Charlie Parker. The lick I was thinking of, and maybe this is from some other recording of the same tune, the one I like to play goes like this. Now it's a lick I love to use, and it's based off of the same little pattern here, which leads me to believe I probably either bastardized the original lick at some point, or I got it off another one of his recordings. All right, so one more time on that one just to hear it. All right, so we're starting on the for this version number 2, we're on the 5th fret on the 3rd string. We're going to go on the 2nd string 6, and then 8, and then 4 on the 1st string, and then 5. And so what we've got here, and then you're going to have 6, 7, We're moving up chromatically. We're going from the third to the fifth chord. Right, so we got, and then the next measure starts on the 8, which is the fifth of the chord, and then 5. They're both on the first string, and then we've got our little triplet deal from the first lick: 6, 8, 6 on the first string, and then 5 on the first string, 6 on the second string, 7 on the third string, 5 on the third string, and then ending on 6 on the first string. So a lot of it is pretty similar to the original lick. We just have a little bit of extra chromaticism there that I kind of dig. And one thing to think about this is that every one of these notes that ends up being a quarter note in this lick is a chord tone. And 1, that's the root, and then 2 and 3, that's the third, and then 4 and 1 right there. That guy right there is it's the fifth of the chord. So he's really outlining and emphasizing the chord tones in this lick. It's really cool just for that. Right, so I can use that all kinds of different ways. One of my favorite things to do is just use this to kick off a blues. One last thing. Next week we have James Harmon and Nathan James in the studio for a live webcast. You can find that information on our markweenguitarlessons.com in the forums, or there'll be links wherever you find this video posted. So it's Saturday, January 21st at 2:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. It's live. It's free. You can ask questions. They'll play music. We've got a chat room on our Ustream channel, which is ustream.tv, and it's Mark Ween Guitar Lessons. These are usually pretty fun. And then we'll have it archived if you can't make it on the day of the event.